In the 90s, there was that evolution of the horror genre, basically, with the slasher films. It's like if you were being indecent, if you were, I don't know, sleeping around, or just becoming, or just like being a bad person, you were going to get killed. And I think that has changed the most.
One trend I really hate is like this resurgence of like the really cheaply made, like handheld, horror movie, like Paranormal Activity. Like when it was first used in movies like, the Blair Witch Project, I mean, it was pretty revolutionary. But nowadays, I think, most people realize the effect that they're going for with it. Nowadays, it's just cheap filmmaking. But
I guess the worst horror movie I've ever seen, if you could classify it in the horror genre, is The Happening. The Happening was about people all of a sudden killing themselves. They reached the conclusion through the movie that it was a pheromone that plants were using to get back at humans for, I don't know, mistreating the environment. M. Night Shyamalan, I mean, he's a genius with like plot twists and everything, but that one was just, it had too much of a statement to it.
the most recent horror film that I really liked was Cabin in the Woods. And the reason why I like that one was because, I mean, you could see it as a satire almost of, of horror movies nowadays. And I feel like, in an age when we've pretty much seen every possible, plot that you could find in a horror movie, like, it basically says, well, what can we do with this plot to make it more interesting?
James Wan, he's the director of the Insidious, the Conjuring. I feel like those movies, with their low budget, relatively low budget, and just the sheer terror of the film. I mean, the disturbing images. I really feel like, The Conjuring and Insidious, they could go down as classics.